Suzanne Somers, best known for her roles on Three's Company and Step by Step, has died. She passed away peacefully at home in the early morning hours of October 15th. She survived an aggressive form of breast cancer for over 23 years. In a heartfelt Instagram post in July, Somers shared that her breast cancer had returned for the first time since her first diagnosis in 2000. In addition to her iconic roles as Chrissy Snow on Three's Company, 1977 to 1981, and Carol Foster Lambert on Step by Step, 1991 to 1998, Somers also starred as Sheriff Hildy Granger in She's the Sheriff, 1987 to 1989. The actress was also known for her books. She penned over 25 and was a New York Times best-selling author, and for her health and beauty business ventures, namely the Thigh Master exercise equipment. She went on to author multiple books, including bestsellers Sexy Forever, Knockout, and Ageless. She also hosted her own talk show and became the wellness entrepreneur built largely off the success of her famous partnership with Thigh Master, which turned her into something of a fitness icon. Somers began acting in the early 1960s with a series of uncredited film roles. In 1973, she earned her first on-screen credit as Blonde in a T-Bird in George Lucas's Oscar-nominated film American Graffiti. Throughout the early 70s, Somers appeared in various TV shows including One Day at a Time, The Love Boat, and Starsky and Hutch, before landing her breakout role as Snow. Starring alongside the late John Ritter and Joyce DeWitt, Somers played the boy at typing receptionist for 5 seasons between 1977 and 1981. The sitcom was a huge success and catapulted Somers into stardom. Her time on Three's Company ended in 1981 after Somers had asked producers for a raise to match Ritter's salary a year prior. She went on to become a popular entertainer in Las Vegas following her exit from the sitcom. In 1987, Somers was named Las Vegas Female Entertainer of the Year alongside Frank Sinatra. Somers later starred as Sheriff Hildy Granger in the comedic TV series She's the Sheriff from 1987 to 1989. In the 1990s, Somers appeared in various TV movies and as a guest star on TV shows including Full House, The Larry Sanders Show, and The Simpsons. Somers appeared in 2 Playboy cover feature nude pictorials in 1980 and 1984. Her first set of nude photos was taken by Stan Malinowski in February 1970, when Somers was a struggling model and actress and did a test photo shoot for the magazine. She was accepted as a Playmate candidate in 1971, but declined to pose nude before the actual shoot. During an appearance on The Tonight Show in 1980, she denied ever posing nude, except for a high society topless photo. This prompted Playboy to publish photos from the 1970 Malinowski shoot. Without her permission, Somers' original motivation for posing nude was to be able to pay medical bills related to injuries her son Bruce Jr. suffered in a car accident. By the time the photos were published, her son was 14 and Somers feared seeing his mother posing nude would be difficult for him. Somers sued Playboy and settled for $50,000, which was donated to charity with at least $10,000 of it going to Easter seals. A second nude pictorial by Richard Fegley appeared in December 1984 in an attempt by Somers to regain her diminished popularity after the Three's Company debacle in 1981. Despite her anger and the earlier lawsuit, Playboy approached her earlier that year to pose nude a second time. Initially, she was angered again, but eventually agreed after discussing it with her family. She felt she would have a better chance to control the quality of the photos the second time, and having such control was an important condition that Somers attached to posing. Despite Somers' earlier belief that her son would not want to see his mother nude, her then 18-year-old son did view this second pictorial. In the 1980s, Somers lived in Las Vegas and was an entertainer, headlining at the former MGM Grand, now Horseshoe Las Vegas, for 2 years until the theater burned down, and then at the Las Vegas Hilton for another 2 years. In the early 1980s, Somers performed for U.S. servicemen overseas. From 1987 to 1989, Somers starred in the sitcom She's the Sheriff, which ran in first-run syndication. Somers portrayed a widow with 2 young children who decided to fill the shoes of her late husband, a sheriff of a Nevada town. The show ran for 2 seasons. In 1990, Somers returned to network television, appearing in numerous guest roles in made-for-TV movies, mostly for ABC. Her roles in these, including the movie Rich Men, Single Women, attracted the attention of Lorimar Television and Miller Boy Productions, who were developing a new sitcom. Somers had starred in the film with Heather Locklear, who inadvertently directed the focus of both production companies to Somers due to Locklear's starring role on Going Places, from Lorimar and Miller/Boyett. For Lorimar, this was asking Somers back since they alone had produced She's the Sheriff. In September 1991, Somers returned to series television in the sitcom Step by Step with Patrick Duffy, which became a success on ABC's youth-oriented GIF lineup. In the early 1990s, Somers was the spokeswoman in a series of infomercials for the Thigh Master, a piece of exercise equipment which is squeezed between one's thighs above the knees. In 1991, a 2-hour biopic of Somers, starring the actress herself entitled Keeping Secrets, based on her first autobiography of the same title, was broadcast on ABC. The movie chronicled Somers' troubled family life and upbringing, along with her subsequent rise to fame. In 1994, Somers launched a daytime talk show titled Suzanne Somers, which lasted 1 season. Step by Step continued on ABC until the end of its 6th season in 1997, when the series moved to CBS for what turned out to be its final season. Outside of her acting career, Somers focused her energy in the wellness space. Doubling as a fitness personality in the 90s, Somers starred in the infomercial for at-home workout device, the Thigh Master. Somers authored more than 24 wellness books, many of which became New York Times bestsellers. In recent years, she partnered on several natural beauty products. Somers spoke and wrote often about growing older without fear. Married for 5 decades, Somers and Hamill remained very much in love, and the two took great pride in their family. She was also a stepmom to Stephen and Leslie Hamill from her husband's previous marriage and was a loving grandmother to 6 grandchildren. Suzanne Somers has left an indelible mark on the world, and while she may no longer be with us, her legacy will continue to shine as a beacon of strength and inspiration for generations to come.